Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining today's webinar. We are going to review Skype for Business 2016, Meeting Made Easy. My name is Rob Schenk. I'm the founder of Intivix. Here at Intivix, we specialize in cloud services, strategy, security services, and IT support for businesses located in the San Francisco and Greater Bay Area. Our focus is on ensuring productivity, reliability, availability, and security of your business through right-sized technology infrastructure and best applications for running your business. Just a little housekeeping before we get started here. If you have any questions during the presentation, there's a Q&A box and a chat box that you can go ahead and click on, and feel free to add any questions as we go along here, and we'll make sure that we bring them up during the presentation. We'll also have some time at the end for some questions. The session will also be recorded and will be available soon after the presentation, so you'll be able to review the content at your leisure. Today, I want to introduce Brandy Manuel and Craig Kluba, who will be joining or running the presentation today. And before we kind of dive in, I thought I'd take a minute to bring Craig into the conversation here and just talk about Skype for Business and its place in the market. As you may be aware, that there are other kind of video conferencing solutions out and available in the market, GoToMeeting, Zoom, etc. And Craig, maybe you can kind of talk about what the landscape is and where Skype fits in.
Thanks, Rob. I think Skype for Business, a big differentiator from a crowded market, and there's a lot of good products out there, but how it differentiates itself is its tight integration with Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Office, and Office 365. You'll see in the forthcoming demo that Brandy is going to show how you use Presence. So you will be able to see how Presence sees your calendar and knows your availability and shows that within the Skype interface. Things you don't get out of other products.
And what about any sort of a listing of users and things like that to make it easy for people to find, folks they want to communicate with?
Yeah, so if you're part of Office 365 or Microsoft Exchange, your global address list, whether it's 10 or 10,000 users, is readily available within Skype. It's all integrated. So just like your calendar is integrated, so is your global address list, your directory of users in your company.
Great. So I think with that, we'll go ahead and dive in. I'm going to turn this over to Brandy, who can begin the presentation, and you can kick it off. Brandy, it's all yours.
Great. Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Craig. And thank all of you for being here with us today and going over Skype for Business. So for today's agenda, we're going to cover a little bit about the basic features. As Craig said, we're going to talk about your presence. We're going to talk about how to set that up. And a little special feature is adding your picture. We'll talk about contacts and groups. And of course, we'll go into instant messaging and Skype calls, both video and phone. And then we'll go into how we host a meeting and how that integrates with our Outlook. Once we've reviewed the basic information, we're going to go ahead and move to the live demonstration portion of this video, and that's where we'll spend most of our time. And after the live demo, we'll have time for questions and answers. Skype for Business. What is it? Well, it's a platform that lets you connect with your coworkers or business partners in your company or around the world. Some of the features that it offers, as I've stated, we can start conversations with IM or instant messaging, voice or video calls, and you can see your contacts and their availability, whether they're in a meeting or away from their desk. You can also broadcast to a very large audience online, and you can present your screen during meetings or give control to others. So as we said, Presence is something that Skype offers, and this is it's information that gives people a quick way to see what your availability is. So your presence is basically already determined by Outlook. It integrates with Outlook. So if you're in a meeting, your Outlook calendar is automatically going to set your Skype presence as busy, but you have the ability to manually change this option. For example, if you have a meeting currently scheduled in Outlook, your status appears as in a meeting in your Skype for Business. You can manually set your presence to away or busy if you're preparing for your meeting and you need some extra time and don't want to be disturbed. And as you can see here in the left side of your screen, these are the availabilities. You have available, busy, do not disturb. Next, we're going to go over how to change your picture. I want you to keep in mind, if some of these options are grayed out and maybe Craig or Rob can speak to this a little bit more, it's because this hasn't been allowed by your local admin. But you can get pictures from Yammer, OneDrive, Facebook, or LinkedIn. We just want to make sure that they're business appropriate.
Yeah, what Brandy's speaking to there is company policies. Administratively, they may be uploading pictures for you. On the other hand, they may allow you to do it, and that'll determine whether or not that feature is available for you.
Thank you, Craig. We'll also go over smart contacts and groups. We'll talk about how you add contacts and also add groups and edit them. As Craig said earlier, your global list, the first time you use Skype for Business, it checks your company's global address book and it picks out people that you might be on the same team with and your manager. So when you first log in, you'll see contacts already listed in the left-hand side here. You can also make changes to who you see in your contact by editing this or moving them to a different group. We'll also
So
go.
groups, yeah, sorry. So groups is a way to kind of organize your contacts, and you'll be able to send messages to a group, if you will.
Right, we'll go over that in the demo, but yes, definitely. We'll also go over how to quickly find contacts, whether they're in your Skype directory or if they're a client outside of your organization. Again, this is dependent upon your organization's internal policies. We're going to learn how to keep it really brief with instant messaging. So Skype for Business instant messaging is a really efficient way to connect with your contacts in real time and at a moment's notice. A lot less formal than an email and faster than a phone call. It's pretty tough to beat the IM as far as speed and ease.
So Brandy, I think that's an important line that you have there on your last slide. Could you go back?
Sure.
Less formal than email, faster than a phone call. IM is tough to beat for speed and ease of use. It's the immediacy of it, because we often get the question, why do I need instant messaging? I have email. And as you all know, your inbox gets cluttered with a lot of stuff. Instant messaging, especially with your team, for example, is a quick way to get information to them that doesn't get caught in the clutter.
I absolutely agree. And one of the other benefits I really like, especially if you're communicating with your team, if I need something from one of my team members, I don't have to go in, type in the subject, think about what I want to say in the email. I can just say, hey, do you have this? Shoot it over to me when you get a second. So it's a lot less formal.
Yeah, another example where this kind of comes into play is, so we have several clients that use this type of functionality. For example, they'll have an employee that's working with a customer, perhaps working on a deal. That employee is able to instant message with a manager during the course of that conversation in order to get some additional information that would make the sale go forward. So it's a quick way to not have to necessarily separate from the situation with your client and customer. You're able to get real-time information quickly and be able to process that that transaction more seamlessly. Another example is you may be on the phone with a client and some information comes in or a quick question that you need answered. You can use this type of functionality to send a quick instant message to another employee that maybe has the answer to that question. And you can just go ahead and send them a quick instant message. They can reply very quickly to that. And then you're able to still continue with the conversation that you're having with your customer and then continue the process. So it's a way to interact quickly, get answers to kind of time-dependent questions, and be able to continue on without having to skip a beat.
Great. So I think it's clear we all like instant messaging, right?
We love it.
Okay, well, in addition to the instant messaging, Skype for Business also allows easy face-to-face video time right from your instant message. So we'll cover that, as well as offline messaging. It's a lot more simple now to do offline messaging. I'm not sure if any of you used Skype for Business before 2016, but you used to get a message that said it was undeliverable, and it was a little frustrating. Well, now you don't have that. The person will get a message that they've missed a message, and they'll be able to respond to you when they get back to their desk. We'll also use the call button. So we'll show you how to use a voice/audio call. And again, you can do this directly from your instant message, or you don't have to be in an instant message to make a call, but we will cover that as well. One thing I do want to point out, though, is because Skype for Business is integrated so much into Office 365, and in today's environment, we can work anywhere from any location, whether it's your cell phone while you're waiting for BART or a tablet while you're waiting for your coffee. It's important to make sure that you have a good headset and microphone to kind of block out background noise, if you will. And we'll also show you how we make and receive the video calls. Receiving is a little bit different than making them, but it's still under the same premise, and it's fairly simple. Just a couple of extra clicks to do either one of these. And because we were talking about the integration of Outlook and Skype for Business, I'm going to show you how we can successfully host a Skype for Business meeting, and also how we can attach or pre-attach preload attachments for our meetings and make sure that everyone who's attending the meeting will have these documentations. Your participants will receive these attachments with their invite or a link to the OneDrive SharePoint location. And they'll also be notified of the attachments in their Skype for Business meeting. All right, any questions so far? I'm already signed in to Skype for Business, so other than showing you this live, this is what your screen will look like once you launch the Skype for Business application. You want to make sure that when you type in your credentials, it's the credentials that were assigned to you by your organization. So don't enter your personal Skype information or your Microsoft account information. And then simply, you would click down here on the sign in button, and you will be brought to, this is the screen that you will see once you're signed in to Skype for Business. And if you can tell up here, this is where the presence is, right up in the left-hand corner. You can see right now my name, and you can see that I'm busy because my Microsoft account, my Outlook, knows that I'm in a meeting. But for this meeting, I'm going to show you how we change everything. I'm going to make myself available. So all I need to do is click available and it will change it. I can override what Outlook automatically updates. And because I'm off-site and not at the same location as some of my other coworkers, I want to let them know where I am. And as you see right here, it already has a San Francisco office and an Oakland office. Skype for Business will remember your network, so make sure that you name it accordingly. So I'm going to call this Home Office and just hit enter. So now you see my name, my status, and where I'm working from.
Can I jump in there real quick, Brandy?
Please.
So everybody, when Brandy changed her availability there from busy to available, I'm looking at Skype on my screen and I can see it change in real time. Now I could have sent her a message, an instant message, even if she was busy, and she would have gotten it. But her availability tells me I know she's there and I should get a response pretty quickly.
You brought up a really good point, Craig. So there's a difference between busy and do not disturb. If I clicked on do not disturb, that lets Skype know that I don't even want to receive instant messaging. So it's good that if I really am available, that I keep my status as available. Next, we have our personal message, and you can use a personal message for an out of office if you're going to be on vacation or maybe just out of the office for the day, or you can use it to let your team members know what's happening. So let's say I'm busy, I'll let them know that. So now I've let my team know that even though I might be busy in Skype, they can still reach me in Microsoft Teams. And I can change this daily, hourly, whenever I need to. But it's just another form of communication that Skype provides us to let, again, our coworkers and our clients know what's going on with us. Now I want to add a picture. I want to give it a little bit of a personal touch. So I'm going to change my photo by clicking on the green checkmark box here. And then I'm going to click Edit or Remove Picture. And it's going to automatically open my Outlook web application. So I can do this. And while it loads, I want to remind you that when you make changes to Skype, as far as pictures are concerned, it may take a minute for it to update. You may even have to log out and back in, but for the most part, it should be pretty quick. I'm just going to wait for it to load now. Here we go. So now I'm going to upload my photo. And again, please make sure that your pictures are business appropriate. I already told Outlook where I wanted it to go before the meeting, so it was easy for me to locate for you. But you, like I said, you can upload from LinkedIn, any social media account. Wow, taking a little bit longer than I thought it would.
Yeah. One question did come in. Can you dial a Skype number from a landline?
Yes, you can, and we will go over that a little bit more when we do meetings. Do you know if the person's referring to a meeting?
Not sure. We can ask.
Okay. Okay. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and save my picture and see it populated here. So now I can exit out of this and we'll go back into Skype. Yep. Do you guys see it, the change?
Yes.
Craig, can you see the change? Perfect.
I do.
Okay, so now, yay. So now I have all my basic presence information set. You know who I am, you know where I am, you know my status, you know how else you might be able to contact me, and you can actually see a picture. So now I want to look at my contacts and I want to look at groups. I want this to be organized so I can efficiently use Skype for Business in all manners. So if I look through, oh, I see Rob. And in a minute, Rob, I'll probably ask that you make your availability to available. But I don't see Craig.
How dare you?
There's a few ways I can add someone. This is your search bar right here. You can also go over to your icon, add contact icon or add group. And I'll click on that so you can see. So here's add a contact within my organization, outside of my organization, or I can create a group. But I'm going to show you what happens when I begin typing in a name in the search bar. So I just typed the letter K, and I have two options now. I have my contacts or Skype directory. If I go into the Skype directory with just the letter K, it's not going to pull up any information because there's hundreds and thousands of users within the actual Skype. It's pulling from both Skype for Business and Skype. So for today's purposes, I'm going to use my contacts.
And that's probably millions, I would say, Randy.
Probably, I just didn't overestimate. So there's Craig. So I'm gonna double click on him. Oops.
You're too fast.
Did it not take? Okay, so right click, and I'm just gonna add him to my favorites for now. So there he is. If you can see him, it looks like you're away from your Skype for Business as well, Craig. So now I have a new contact.
Let me set myself as available.
Please do so.
And there it goes.
So just in case you guys didn't see it, I'm adding someone else. Add to my favorites, because that's essentially where I put everybody until I break them off into groups. And so now I'm going to show you how to add groups, unless anyone has questions about adding contacts. Okay. So I'm going back over to my drop-down. On the right-hand side, let's go and create a new group. And this group is going to be called projects, or project team. After you type it, just hit enter and it will create the team or the group. You just have to scroll down to see it. Well, now I have people in my contacts, my general contacts, but I also want them to be in my project team. Skype makes this very easy. I'm going to click on Rob's picture, not right click, just click, and I'm going to drop and drag him, or drag and drop, excuse me. And same with Craig. So now I have Craig and Rob both in my project team, and they're also in my favorites. You can go in and edit your groups and your contacts, and you can organize them in what makes sense for you. And a little bit later in the demo, I'm going to show you why organization within groups is really important. Any questions on groups and contacts so far?
Nothing yet. Straightforward.
Okay, great. Okay, so Craig's available, Rob's available. Instant messaging. This is what we were talking about earlier and how easy it is. So have you noticed that when I run over someone's picture, there's a menu that pops up, and it's called the fast action menu. And this is what gives us our options on how we can communicate with our contacts. It gives us instant messaging. It gives us voice call, video call, or I can look at his contact card. And of course, there's more options. But for today's purposes, we're going to go over the first three. So I'm going to start an instant message conversation with Rob. And I know I can, and I know he's available because there's a green check mark. It lets me know he's ready for conversation. Let's see. So this is a basic conversation, but I want to add a little bit more to my instant message conversation because I want him to really understand that I need help. So there's a few options I have here. I can flag it as important, but I can also change my font and let him know, like, this is serious, I really need help right now. Let's make it 20, we can turn it to red. And that's in our more options right here. Can also add emoticons. And I'm gonna let him know that I'm frustrated. There we go. And now I can either hit the send button or enter. I'm just gonna hit enter. And now this is what it appears to Rob. When he receives the, oh, there he goes. You can see that not only has he received the message, but now he's starting to type back. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close out this message. One thing you should remember is if you leave this message box open, you can continue the conversation, but once you close it and you want to go back to that message or you want to get back in touch with him, you'll open a new dialogue. You can send an instant message from anywhere in Skype for Business where you see a contact. So as long as you see a contact, you can send that person an instant message. Again, you just want to make sure that their indicator and their status is green. Okay. Once we've gone over instant messaging and we've had this call and Rob really wants to know what this error message is, but he's not understanding, I can now escalate this instant message to a video call. And I'm going to show you how to do that through a video. The volume is up as loud as it can be, so I hope you all can hear this. Okay, that's not working. Can you hear it? Craig?
I cannot.
Okay, well.
And when you started it, did you start it with the options?
I did.
Okay.
Audio options. Is Clayton on the line? I just want to make sure that everyone can hear the video.
I'm here. Make sure when you're sharing your screen that the radio buttons are pressed.
Okay. Well, just for time's sake, I think maybe I will walk you through how to do a Skype video call. I'm just sorry you don't have audio. Wait, do you hear it now?
So now we've gone over
Yes,
the very
there it goes.
basics
Okay,
on
I'll
how to
start it
instant
again for you
message.
guys. Sorry about that.
There are a few other features I would like. So now we've gone over the very basics on how to instant message within Skype for Business. There are a few other features I would like to show you, and one of them is making a video call while you are already in an instant message conversation. It's very simple. First, we're going to go ahead and contact Rob via instant message. And we're going to ask him if he's free, even though he has a green icon that says that he's available. We want to make sure that someone has not stepped into his office and they're having a private conversation and we just interrupt via video. Great, he's there. So now we're going to simply hover over our video call and we're going to click it. It's asking us if we want to start our video. You're going to click yes. Hey Rob.
Hey there.
See, it's as simple as that. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you great.
Great. So to go ahead and disconnect the call, I'm going to hit this red button here. Bye, Rob. Thank you.
Okay, so that's how we do our video call from instant message. There is something I want to show you, and it's a tip. If you know you're scheduled for a Skype call or that you might hop onto a Skype video, and you want to make sure that your surrounding area is appropriate for this call, there's a tip, and I'm going to show you so you can see what your audience will see. This way, if you are working from home and the kids left their cereal bowls behind you, you'll see that before you hop onto the call.
Great
So
functionality.
It is. Well, and also for glares into your lens.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go back. I'm gonna hit the arrow button here on my menu option, click Tools, and click Video Device Settings, and it will automatically send you to this screen. Now, if you're anything like me, you have a webcam cover. So all you need to do is open it, and now I can see what my background looks like. Oh, my coffee. And you can see if there's a glare. And now I'm going to close it, and I'm all set for my meeting. Okay, so now Skype calls. Voice calls are just as easy as video calls. It's just a different click of a button.
So now you know how to do an instant Skype for Business. It's super simple, right? You also learned how to do a video call from your instant message with just an extra click. The same holds true for a voice call, which I will show you now. I will also demonstrate how we can add additional contacts to our already existing phone call once it's begun. First, we're going to ask Rob if he's available again for a phone call. Great. So now I know that he's free to talk. This time, instead of hovering over the video call, I'm going to hover over the phone icon, and it's going to ask me, do you really want to Skype call? Yes. And now we're calling Rob.
Hello, this is Rob.
Hi, Rob. It's Brandy. How are you?
Hi there.
I'm doing a demonstration, and I was wondering if you had a moment to stay on the line while I also show and demonstrate how we can add additional callers.
Sounds great. I'm ready for you.
Fantastic. So we have two options. I can either drag and drop, let's say Brad, into my phone call, or I can click on my invite more people icon. Just to show you how easy it is, I'm going to drag and drop Brad into our Skype call. And now Skype is trying to get a hold of Brad, and it will let us know when he's joined the call.
Hello, Brad here.
Hi Brad, how are you? It's Brandy and Rob.
I'm doing
Hello.
well. How are you guys?
Good, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to join our call. Okay, so now to end the call, the voice call, you would end it the same way that you would end your video call. Bye you guys, thank you both for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy.
So now that you know how to make a call and a video call, I want to point something out on this screen here. If you look at the bottom of the conversation tab, you'll see this yellow bar. If Rob and Brad had stayed in a meeting together or had not left the meeting, and maybe Rob sent me an email saying, hey, another topic just came up, we need you back, I could easily just click rejoin, or they could get me back by dragging and dropping my contact information back into their call. So next, I want to show you what it looks like to have someone call you. Let's hope the audio works.
So now in Skype for Business, you know how to send an instant message, you know how to make a video call, and you also know how to make a voice call. I want you now to see what it looks like when someone dials in to you, and you know how to accept or decline. So you can see at the bottom right hand of my screen, I have an incoming call. I can either ignore it or I can accept it. Hi Rob, how are you?
Hi there.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.
So it's pretty simple. It's just different clicks of a mouse. What I want to show you, and this is what I promised I would show you about groups, is now instead of dragging and dropping or starting one call and adding more people, I can contact the entire project team. Even if there's 2 or 15 different people, I can instant message them, start a conference call or a video call, and I can also send them an email. Now, just as an example, I'll show you. So see, it says 3 participants. I'm the one sending. Rob and Craig will receive the message. I'll close my window and you'll see what happens if one of them responds, and then I'll show you what the emails look like. So see, it's already started an email for me. It's very convenient to make sure that your groups are well organized so that way you can contact that group of people if you need to.
Brandy, so when we started this webinar, we talked about how Skype is different from other products, and this is exactly what we were talking about.
Exactly.
This kind of integration we just don't see with other products because it's so tightly integrated with the global address list, your directory, with your calendar, with everything. So it makes it very easy to communicate and to start an email or to start a group conference.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I really enjoy using Skype for Business so much. I think a lot of people may just not know all the different features, and that's why I'm glad we're doing this. And I know that there's so many more features to use that make Skype for Business, I think, stand out from some of their other competitors.
We got one question that just came in. Is it possible to record your meetings? It
is, and I will demonstrate. Well, I wasn't actually going to demonstrate that, but I can if you would like. But I'll have to start a meeting.
You could blow everything up.
Yeah, maybe just say it is possible.
Yeah,
maybe
it is possible.
You could just show the buttons where you might go to do that.
Well,
oh, that's right. You do have
yeah,
to be in a meeting.
You have to be in a meeting, yes, but you can record it and you can direct it where to save the recordings, which is really nice. And that way you can always refer back to them. Good question. So the last thing I'm going to show you as far as instant messaging, let's see if I can find someone who's offline. Arnold. So I want to instant message him. But look, right here, it even shows me if I wasn't paying attention to his status, but just really needed Arnold to answer a question for me, it lets me know that Arnold is offline and that he will get a missed message in his email, and then he'll be able to join a conversation when he has the time. We didn't used to have this. It would just not let you send an instant message. So that's another new feature. So the exciting stuff is what we're getting into now. I'm going to show you how we do Skype for meeting or Skype for Business meetings. So I'm going to go to my Outlook, close my reminders, and I'm going to schedule a new meeting. So if you look at your Outlook, you should notice that you have a new Skype meeting. Simply click on that, and it's already going to preload the link that people need to click on. And for the person who asked earlier, here's the dial-in number.
And if I may jump in there, Brandy.
Please.
So that dial-in number, this is functionality that you get with additional licensing. So you may have licensed Skype, but then you would need Skype PSTN, and that's a $4 per user per month additional license. But that enables anyone to dial into the conference from any phone. They don't have to be on a computer to get in. If you don't have that feature, this is all computer-based or via your smartphone.
Right, you would have to actually join the meeting through the link, correct, Craig?
Correct.
Right. I would highly suggest the phone because it's made it very convenient for me.
So you can't always be at a computer.
Exactly. So,
yeah, so one other question or one other point here is so you may think like, well, do I need to have Skype installed to be able to participate in this meeting? And you actually don't. There's actually there's a web component that you can in your browser that would allow you to join a Skype meeting, and then you can participate just the same as you would if you had the Skype application installed on your desktop or laptop. So you'd be able to join from via web browser and get in and get the full functionality.
Exactly.
Well, I would further that, Rob. So within your company, maybe you've got 3 people that are going to join an online meeting, and then you have 2 people outside of your company, and maybe they don't have Skype, they don't use Skype. They would be using the web browser Skype in that scenario.
Right. Exactly. One of the things I like so much about the integration between Skype and Outlook, it's literally just a couple of clicks to create this meeting. I don't have to do any extra work that I would if I was just scheduling a regular meeting. So here again, I said it has the link, it has your dial-in number, and then I can add any additional information I want here to further, explain what the meeting's about, what the agenda is. You want to make sure, of course, that your start and your end times are right. It's not a full day. Another option that I really like in Skype for Business is what I said earlier, is we get to preload meeting minutes if we want, or attachments. Simply go to Insert, and you can attach a file. And let's see, I will attach my Skype instant message attachment, for example. But now I know when I send this invite out to you, you're going to get the invitation. You can save it to your calendar like you would any other meeting. And you'll also receive these attachments, and that you can look at them before the meeting and you'll have them for the meeting. You'll also be able to click back into this and join the meeting straight from this link, as I said earlier.
So the attachments are available in Skype as well as in your calendar, Brandy?
Yes. So when you start your meeting, there'll be an icon that has a little orange radio button, and you'll see that, and it will show you that there's preloaded attachments if you didn't already look at them. And I'm glad that you brought that up. I was going to discuss some of the other features like that Skype for Business has. And if you're curious at all about what some of those other features are, I can name a few, but they're a little bit more detailed and not probably appropriate for this particular meeting. More of a scenario of a lunch and learn or more hands-on. But you have co-authoring in Office documentation and Skype instant messaging. So I can co-author with you, Craig, in an instant message or in a meeting that we've created. I can also do file sharing from my OneDrive. And there's something called a whiteboard, and it's a collaboration tool that Skype has come up with that's been very useful. We can also take polls right from our meeting, and I can also share my screen with you. I can present, or I can give you the option to share your screen and present. And last, there's also an option to where you, after you're done with your meeting or your presentation, you have the option to create a Q&A session right from your meeting.
So just to clarify the co-authoring, so that basically what we're saying there is that you will be able to work on or collaborate on let's say a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet in real time with multiple folks both making changes at the same time and being able to see what each other is doing.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And again, that feature is a little bit more advanced, and so I thought maybe a different forum would be appropriate for that. There's other features as well that they offer, but those are some of the main features that they offer that people would like to learn about.
Let's see, how many attendees can you invite to a meeting? Is there a limit to the number of attendees?
250.
Yeah, 250. You won't see all of them on your screen though, right, Craig?
I hope not.
That would be hysterical. No, but I think you see
Unless you live in a movie theater.
Right. I think you see 5 to 6 participants at a time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are individuals outside your company that are located in China, would they be able to use Skype for Business web access to join the meeting?
We would need to double check that. It's possible. Yeah, we'd have to check with the fire. It's mainly firewall settings in China.
Exactly.
That would determine that. So
I can speak to other places in the world, and we've done Skype calls from probably 20 other countries with no problem. China is a question mark.
And again, it's because of their firewall?
Just, country dictates regarding to their security, so they tend to lock things down a little bit. So, yeah, that's something we can look into, and we can get back with you on that, Ed.
Good question. Any other questions that have come in, Rob?
Is there any specific headsets or specific types of devices that I should use for Skype for Business?
Craig, that's all you.
Yeah, so I'm using a Jabra headset. It's probably under $30 and works well. It's very simple. You can spend hundreds of dollars, but any of the mainstream equipment that's out there and available is generally compatible. There is a compatibility list you can check with.
Yeah, there is a list that we can make. We can add that to the chat, maybe, if people are interested, and can make that available for you guys. I know that they also have, you can get pretty fancy with the headsets. Some of them have kind of noise canceling technology in them, so it's going to kind of cut out, kind of ambient noise. And those the typical range is anywhere from, like Craig is mentioning, $15 up to, a couple $100 for something that's pretty fancy. I don't have a webcam. Can I still see video that is shared by other meeting participants?
Absolutely.
You just can't share your own.
That's right.
But if you have a picture, right, Craig, if you have a picture that you've uploaded to your Skype for Business, it will show your picture. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So if you're thinking about migrating to Office 365 and would like a consultation, please reach out to us. Contact information is on the screen right now. Intivix has performed many Office 365 migrations to date, and we've gotten the process down to make it as transition as smooth as possible. If you already have Office 365 and there's some applications within the Office 365 suite that you'd like to learn more about, we have a great client development program, training program, and we can customize some Office 365 training for your business to help your employees kind of maximize the investment of the Office 365 ecosystem. So feel free to contact us with the contact info that's listed on the screen. So we want to thank you guys for all your participation, and we'll make the recording available offline. Should be sent to you guys automatically within a day or two. And this will be, we're going to continue this series, so any sort of feedback that you guys would be able to provide would be fantastic. Is there any other Office applications that you'd like to learn more about? We're thinking about perhaps Microsoft Teams, or maybe going
Outlook,
deep dive into
too.
Outlook.
Yeah.
Power BI, which gives you guys the ability to do some kind of dashboard and business intelligence type of functionality. That's also an option within Office 365. But if there's anything specific you guys would like to see, please let us know, and we can be happy to work on that for you guys in future webinars.
Well, I want to thank you, Rob and Craig, for everything, your support, and thank everyone for joining us today as well. And hopefully we will see you the next time we do a webcast.
Thank you, Randy.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you taking time out of your day. Thanks so much.
Bye.